welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my best books of 2021. Now I'm looking at this through core pile ratings, so it was quite interesting to see actually what got to the top. Super interesting, and it was quite surprising actually. Surprising to me, looking at my core pile. Did I think top book would be top book? I'm gonna be honest, no. I didn't. I didn't think what came out as number one would be number one, but I really enjoyed it, so I'm not mad. But I'm just going to go with my core pile, from the 10th to the 1st. A lot of these have kind of the same rating, but I'm just going to do it that way for ease. So let's get started. My 10th favourite book of the year was Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Loved it. I really liked the concept. I love that, like, humans have evolved so much that they can just be reset to whatever age they want to be, and to control the population there's scythes who kill. They do it in the ways that is, well, they're supposed to do it in painless, quick ways, but obviously there are sects and stuff, and you see them make appearances through Scythe and the rest of the series. Now, this is just a fun ride. I really like Neil Shusterman's writing. I really like the characters. I think both main protagonists in this are so well written, and their stories and the way they diverge is just beautiful. My 9th favourite book of the year is the follow-up to Scythe, Thunderhead. This surprised me because this is a middle book. I still loved it. I love where we picked up from where Scythe ended. I loved seeing, like, this cover is so interesting to me. The Thunderhead is like their version of the Cloud, essentially, but it's so much more advanced. And how it tries to help without being directly able to help the situation. Incredible. Incredible. The main characters, again, shine bright. They are so fantastically well written. I loved it. This, again, it's a YA sci-fi. I didn't think I liked sci-fi. I didn't think I liked YA sci-fi. I have learnt this year that I really do like sci-fi. I just have to read it. If you haven't read Scythe yet, please pick up Scythe. You will not regret it. Right, this next one, which is my 8th favourite book of the year, was a recommendation from my lovely friend, Celine. Links to her Instagram down below. She was banging on about this book, and this is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. And when I tell you, I didn't think I was going to like this one. I'm not kidding. I didn't think I'd like this one. But I talked about this in a live show for Bevies and Books. But I love this book so much. I'm just going to bang on about it. But it follows a team of, well, it follows a spaceship, a crew on a spaceship. And each of them have this amazing kind of friendship and amazing connection that kind of grows. And you have Rosemary, who is kind of the outlier, but she's always being invited to the crew. She's always been made welcome. You look at, in this you follow, there's LGBTQ+ in this, there's interspecies relationships, and it kind of explores all these different cultures within this alien world that is set in the future, with Earth kind of being abandoned, I guess. I can't remember, but I just love this so much. I love this so much. You need to pick it up. It's so stunning. It doesn't read like a sci-fi either. It reads much more like a contemporary, just set in space. Next up is a book that I read on script as an audiobook, and that was Exit Strategy by Martha Wells. And I loved Murderbot. All of them. The Murderbot Diaries, amazing. Murderbot as a character is great. He's a killing machine, essentially. He is a murderbot, and he's a protector. And he hacks his little chip in his head, which, you know, is all his following orders blindly kind of thing. and he has his own thoughts. He loves watching his TV shows, and he just doesn't want people to recognise him as a murderbot. And Exit Strategy, I need to really listen to all of them. Their novellas, they're fantastic. I think it's because it followed the human condition rather than, you know, this is how a spaceship works. It was like about the characters and the character development. That was what the book was about. The next two are also kind of surprises. But for the my sixth favourite book of the year was Julia and the Shark by Kieran Milward Hargreaves. This book is a middle grade and it made me cry. It's a beautiful, beautiful story about mental health and how, as a parent, what it kind of shows what a child, who is Julia, sees. And it talks about depression, and it's how helpless the family feels. It talks about like hyperfixation, and it makes me so emotional. And there's these stunning images throughout the whole book, which I just can't even describe to you. I wasn't expecting much of this book, but I walked past it and it was actually this that got me. It was these stencil edges and like how shiny it was, and I was like, this looks super interesting. And it's a summer where she's in Scotland with her family. She's from Cornwall. They go up to Scotland because her mother is convinced that there's like this massive shark that if she just finds, all her research will be for something. And they all go. They drop everything and they go because her mum says that she's got some funding. But you see it from Julia's point of view, and it's the child's point of view. This is probably the quickest 5 stars I've ever given a book. Ever. It's fantastic. If there's one book you take from watching this video, make it this one. The next one's another middle grade, but this one I think is less surprising. And that's Amari and the Wright Brothers by B.B. Olson. And this one was such a fun ride. It was like secret societies. You can only be part of the club if you've been invited in. Let's look at your like magic powers, your innate magic powers, and let's make it useful. And this is so much fun. I cannot wait for the sequel to come out. This is such a fun ride. Amari as a black female child character, protagonist, is so kick-ass. I love her. Her brother essentially goes missing, and that's what kicks off the whole plot, is her trying to find her brother. And it's wild. Like, the stuff that happens in this book is just fantastic. Like, I don't care that this was middle grade. Like, I am so happy this is on this list. It's the 5th best book of the year. It got 5 out of 5 stars. Easily pick this one up as well if you're thinking about it, because you will not regret it at all. Going from B.B. Olson and Amari and the Wright Brothers goes to probably the most TBR'd author of 2021. That is Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is my 4th favourite book of the year, which was surprising to me. This was the first read of the year. It's over 1,000 pages. It's a chonker, but I really liked it. It's the kickoff for the Stormlight archives. And this feels like you're reading a historical account, like an essay. That's what it feels like. And that's what you're supposed to do. It's literally called the Stormlight archive. But there's political intrigue. There's different characters going after everything. Like, loads of different reasons for doing things. You have, like, the elite, the lesser kind of characters. And you have, like, old gods. It's so amazing. I don't know what to say about it without spoiling it. This chonker is worth it. I absolutely promise you, this book is worth it. Now, this is the wild card. This is 100% the wild card. I did not expect any of this series to be in my top 10 list. This is not just in my top 10 list. No. This is my 4th favourite book of the year, or my 4th highest rated book of the year. I am in shock. Shock and horror. And that is Skullduggery Pleasant Deathbringer, which really kind of shocks me, but really not that much. This actually isn't my copy. This is Hannah's copy because I didn't own number 6. I listened to that on script. But I really enjoyed this one. This one was like the end of a trilogy. It kind of went off with a bang. If you don't know, which you should know by now, Hannah runs the Dead Famous Read Along, which is reading through the Skullduggery Pleasant books. We talk about the full series, and it starts off as a middle grade series, and like where we are now, which is book 11, we are firmly into young adult category. This is kind of on the cusp, I think. If you know about Skullduggery Pleasant, you will know. But Skullduggery Pleasant essentially follows Skullduggery Pleasant as the skeleton detective and his partner, Valkyrie Kane. And it's just a lot of fun. I think you should just pick it up. If you are looking to replace the series that shall not be named, Skullduggery Pleasant is definitely one of the places to go. You won't be disappointed. It's fun. There's murder mystery in it. There's detective work and a lot of shenanigans. There isn't one Skullduggery Pleasant book where something doesn't happen, which will just be like, what the hell? Pick up Skullduggery Pleasant. It's a really fun series. I promise you, you'll really enjoy it. Oh shit, no, that was my third favourite book. We are into the top 2 books of the year. One of them, there's no surprises there. The other one, being number 1, surprised me. Number 2 on my favourite books of the year is The Hobbit by Jr Tolkien. I reread this in 2021 in summer, and of course I'm a massive Tolkien fan. If you haven't seen, I have a new TBR game. It's up there in the cards and in the description down below, which is the Lord of the Rings themed, and The Hobbit is just lovely. My favourite by far is like the riddle game with Gollum, that's in this, and also his standoff with Smaug the dragon. Bilbo Baggins is a character that will be with me for a long time. He is one of my favourites. I think as a character he's just such a lovely character. He's so gentle, and all he wants to do is do his best for his friends, and he cares and protects them so well. So now we're on to the number 1 book. Now, I would not have realised that this was my top of the year. Am I mad about it? No, not really. Just interesting to me. Because a lot of people would think, wow, really? But I guess it's my ratings and how I feel about a book and not yours, so it doesn't really matter. But that is Lost Boy by Christina Henry. Now, if you know me, you know that I love Christina Henry as an author. I love her retellings. I think they're fantastic. The Alice in Wonderland ones, so Alice and Red Queen and Looking Glass, are arguably some of the strongest Alice in Wonderland retellings there are, in my opinion. I really love them. It's what Christina Henry does well is she takes a well-known story and then she twists it to kind of prove the ugly that is already there. So she did that with Alice in Wonderland extremely well, and it kind of explores madness. Lost Boy takes Peter Pan, which, if you didn't know, I have a tattoo of it, but it takes the kind of threatening undertones that's kind of already going through the story of Peter Pan, the kind of child abductor, sinister, people will do anything he says, and turns that up to like 100, dials it up to 1,000 actually, not 100, 1,000, and she doesn't shy away from that. And I really enjoyed it. And it's not long again, but I just really like Christina Henry's writing. There is a lot of trigger warnings though, so please look those up, because Christina Henry doesn't shy away from gore, doesn't shy away from violence. It's very much in your face. And if that is not for you, this probably isn't the book for you, or the author for you, for that matter. Christina Henry is fantastic, and I think everyone should try her. I know a lot of people don't like Christina Henry, but for some reason, her writing just gels. So, I'd say pick it up. But that's just me. Top book of the year. Would not have called it. Am I mad though? No. So, if you liked any of these books, if you hated some of these books, please start a conversation down with me down below. You can see more of my videos on my channel and some links down in the description below. And I hope you have a lovely day. And thanks for watching. Bye guys.